Hey everybody, how you doing? I think I have everything together today. Volume's correct, let's hope, or up. I mean, it may not be accurate. Let me pause it here. I've got too many things going here. There we go. We have been so busy. It is crazy. A lot of folks of our team are heading to Germany this week. Nikki and I are not. I wish we were, but too many things happen, and ultimately, even though it would be good that we would be there, it's also good that we're not. I've been working on my area here. It's just ridiculous. I have room, but I have absorbed so many items. I moved my 3D resin printing over here. I did get my printer. My 3D printer. I've had it 7.5 years, I think. Yeah, 7.5 years. It's a great printer. It's an old Creality, but it still does what I want. I was fixing things and making things this weekend. But something happened. So I made this mount for it back in the day. So they have this control box. It's kind of massive on these older machines. I don't know if they do that anymore. They probably don't have to. But it got in the way, and I put it on the bottom of a cart. I bought this cart from Harbor Freight. And I made all these things that actually mount to the cart. On the cart, they have this rolled metal tube on the edge. And I designed these pieces that would hold like the filament reel to feed into the printer. And I wanted to get the control box out of the bottom of the cart because it was not a ton of room. It's a pretty big printer. It's not massive. It's 30 centimeters, I think. But when it finished the other day, one of these, let me cut to the down cam, if I could get on the right thing here. It was, so I needed to print some of these. So they're just basically for headphones. Nikki and I need them for, we haven't had them for a while. The ones we had from like Sony broke. And I don't know how long these will last. I mean, I feel like that little joint is kind of small, but you know, I've done paper chip clips and stuff like that. But anyway, one of them, it reset to like the default position, and it yanked the parts that I made to hold the 3D printer on the cart. Now it's still hanging there, but I looked at the pieces. Let me see if I have them here. I did so much stuff. Here they are. These are the two pieces that broke off. So you can see, like, this is the design to go around. Like, there's another piece that would be the thickness of the sheet metal, and it slides over and then it comes around. So this is not the correct, you know, these are two pieces on both of them. But if you notice, this is very early in my 3D printing. And boy, I tell you, I'm shocked it's not better infill. I'm not even sure what is going on there because it should be kind of hexagonal, you know, like crisscross. And now I use Gyrus, which is another pattern that takes a while, I think, but it does a pretty good job. So I'm going to reprint these. Now it's weird, I didn't fillet these, so these are early. The funny thing is, I used to work in design. And I worked in lots of CAD programs, and I did not fillet these parts. Oh, this one is. Interesting. So I wonder if I did the one and then I'm like, oh, I better fillet these, especially because I believe these pieces are up front. And filleting is just rounding the edge so it's not as harsh. But I will be reprinting these. I was going to try to do it yesterday, but I forgot about it. I had so much to do. But I got a lot to do today, so I probably won't print these today. But it was weird, and I could not figure it out. But it should take that pull a little bit more, and it just snapped. Now, it's 7 years, or excuse me, 2018, yeah, 7 years of age. It's used to be in the house, and now it's out here in the studio. So who knows? But it is fun. I like, I did not design these parts. I designed those parts. I was looking for these parts for a long time. I'm like, what did I do? How did I label this stuff? So yeah, let me see if this is actually the front piece that's filleted. It is. So the back one I didn't fill it. I don't know that I can't. I don't have Fusion 360 anymore. They claim you can use it as a, I'm not doing anything for profit. I'm just designing stuff for my use, and I can't use it anymore. So I've tried to get it installed, and it wouldn't go. So it's a bummer. I really do like that software because I don't know that. I'm pretty sure they bought that software, but I'm an Autodesk person. I've done a lot of stuff, training and stuff like that. Hey, thanks, Derek. I'm glad that I hope you're doing your update. Derek's actually doing his Windows 11 update. I'm shocked because I did it pretty much as soon as I could, not quite right away on my PC. Nikki's PC, we were having troubles with it. We had to actually go in, and that was only like 3 weeks ago. We had to go in and turn on the TPM module. Is that what it is? Or it's a security thing. And so we have our machines, we have several machines here that we use. So there's one more that I need to look at and see if I can update it. But goodness gracious, it's a ton of stuff. Anyway, I'm excited. Here, I'll show you my embarrassment. I was going to paint Superman, and I primed him last night or yesterday. And then if you notice here, something happened. When I was trying to do the final piece, I just ended up doing 20 miniatures, priming them, and somehow the nozzle kind of, I'll show you here. The nozzle kind of got loose, which number one is a problem, right? It doesn't work, but paint went into the air channels, and it just shot it out. And I didn't even notice this till today. I'm like, well, he's camouflage. So I have to repaint him. It's very thin, so I remember it happening. The funny thing is I thought that mini came out okay. But man, the paint shot all over everywhere else. It just barely hit the mini. So I don't even remember. It's one of these. I don't think it's this one though. And I looked at it and it was kind of dried okay. So I was like, okay, well, I'll work on it a little bit more. But I have to do this one and Robin are just a mess. So it won't be a big deal. It doesn't look like it's going to leave any kind of splash. Hope I don't have to strip it. I don't want to if I don't have to, because I'm just going to do a light coat. It just needs to be the black again, then do the gray and then the white. But I was really excited to paint him because he's got the eye, it's captured or constrained, or what does it say here? Controlled. So he's an anti-hero. So he could be good, could be bad, I don't know. So yeah, I'll fix that, but a bummer. It was really dumb. Because I had painted, whoops, and I just dropped him. I'd painted all the stuff that, shift over here. I don't think I'm on the call here. I am not. Don't hear things. Cool. But just so much stuff. I've been really organizing and trying to get a little bit better workspace. I would really love the airbrush booth to be closer to me, but I just can't do it. Although, who knows? I might be able to switch it over here. Now that I think about it, it might be better. Because then I could do it sitting in the chair. It is one of the things I stand. It's about 3.5 feet up. And it's too low for me to see in directly. And so when I sat in this chair and did it at that level, which, it would be taller than that though, maybe not. Because I have, not only do we have the 3D FDM printer here, we also have a laser cutter, and that's pretty tall. It's all crazy. We have lots of racks behind us that are, Nikki and I are both creative people, and we both use lots of supplies and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm hoping the airbrush is okay. So I've used the compressor a bunch more now. I have that new gallery compressor that I really like. I will tell you, it's phenomenally quiet. I know that there are the one from the one that I was going to buy, Silent Air, probably would be a little quieter. I'm not 100% sure. But it is so quiet. Like when I am working, I mean, it's a refrigerator compressor. So, you know, I mean, that's what they use on these ultra silent ones. And it really does a great job. It's really nice. I hope it works out to be great. I have not checked the oil level yet. So it came filled and there was a leak, but it turns out it wasn't the leak. So they give you the refrigerant, excuse me, not refrigerant. That's what it says on the bottle, but it is the oil. They give you a bottle of it, which is to be put into the unit, but it shipped with stuff, and I don't want to over apply it. But this had leaked. This is a new box, but the box was oily, and it had gotten on other stuff, and I was like, what's going on? But then when I checked it all out, the compressor seems fine. It just was this, like a not sealed well. And it's weird. So I've never had a compressor that I've had to maintain like this. I mean, I clean them up and maintaining things like blasting out the... So what you do is when you get a compressor, you have to, if you don't want it to corrode inside, you need to, or rust, you need to drain the air and then drain the water. There's condensation that happens when the air is compressed. And you want to make sure you do that. And I'm pretty good about that. I don't airbrush a ton, so it's not like occasionally there'll be some water. There are traps on most of my compressors. I'm trying to remember if there's one on the last one I was using. I don't think so. So traps will catch the water and condense it before the air goes to your airbrush so that you don't get splatter. So you would get things like I had on that one, not as crazy as Superman, but yeah, it's crazy. So, but I am getting things together. I have backed a Kickstarter. I think it was or GameFound. I cannot remember now. It was only a couple months ago, but it was a print your own system to organize your shop so you can hang paints on it and stuff like that. I don't think I'm going to need the paint stuff, but there are other elements of that I would like. My issue, the reason why this all started to happen is because I don't think I had when I built this desk, I don't think I had the printers here, the 3D filament printer. Well, so it's a resin printer, a curing booth thingy, ultraviolet, and then a parts rinse thing, which is cool. It's all pretty nice. But it was down here on this end, and I think I put this computer in around the same time maybe or whatever, and it just blocks it. So it's not helpful. It's wasted space over here. I don't use it as much because it's over there. So this spot over here will be much, much better, and I will get to use it more often. So it's still not completely set up, but that is the plan. I have a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to print. I have not, as I said, I have stopped designing my own stuff, which I don't know that I would. I mean, I've done some stuff in the resin printer with that I had designed, but I don't have the tools that I used. I mean, it's funny, like some things like this part here is an easy design. You just draw the outline of it and then you extrude it to the height that you want. And there's a lot of things like that. I've done all kinds of work that way. Now I've done 3D modeling, nothing extravagant, but I've done 3D modeling for a while, and so it was easy enough for me to, because actually I think I don't know when I did that model. It was a long time ago. It was post-college, but it was related to a college project I had. So I'm not sure. I know I didn't do it at school, but I decided I was going to do that, and I think I did that in AutoCAD, which was all extruding and stuff. Like it worked though. I mean, I had a good time. I learned a lot. Now, as I was saying, I was using Fusion, and it's not the same as other. I mean, I was also using a program called Revit, which is a more advanced, kind of like a project management, but you do design in it. You can design in it, and that was like the last thing I worked on with, even though I was still using AutoCAD. But yeah, the Fusion is not. It'd be neat if the interface carried over, but you know, your interfaces are going to be different. Fusion is designed built to design parts and 3D parts. AutoCAD was originally a drafting program, and that was what my entry point was. I was basically designing spaces, which is cool with that, and it's good software. Part of me misses working in that because I learned a lot. It also made me a pretty good video gamer when we used to do LAN gaming. I had really great mouse control because I needed to do lots of like catching certain parts and stuff, and people were like, the joke was that you would see me walking over your dead body in Quake 3. Although I wouldn't be walking because hilariously, I had a Spider-Man skin, and I'm not really a Spider-Man guy, but it was cool. So this is Huntress. I don't know the character, but I am excited about it. It is, but it's more purple, which is hilarious because I just finished this one that had a lot of purple in it. Comic books, characters like these anyway, they don't have a ton of variety. Hey, I noticed I didn't get a little bit of green over in there. Don't know that it matters. I want to prime this, not prime, I keep saying prime. I want to varnish this, so I'll probably do that today. I did finish Batman. It's really cool. I like this is I don't think I used satin. It may have been just matte. Man, I really need to log this in my brain. The matte, I can't remember. They have different levels of sheen, but it turned out great, and he looks really, really good. Fun. I finished Hush. I think I was painting some of the edges on this one on the stream the last time. Looks great. It'll be really cool. Not varnished yet. She's pretty much done. And I didn't varnish her. I only varnished the dust cloud here because I had some varnish left. I need to do that. And then, as I say, I want to do the Joker, and I want to actually use, I'm not sure that I will use a gloss, but I might use the satin for the liquid, and maybe the gloss on the portal here, you know what I mean, because it's glass. Anyway, so the trick here, excuse me, is the compressor on? It is not. I don't need it. I really do need to figure out some things that was going on. So I use Airbrush Ready primer, and it is, I don't know if it's this airbrush. This airbrush has a 0.45 needle, which is pretty big, and nozzle. I don't know what is going on, but it was having issues. Like, it seemed to be working great, and then I had that problem. Like, the flow was like what I wanted. The neat thing about this airbrush is it has these. So first of all, it's designed to train you to use your brush better. I don't need this, but it's actually good kind of reinforcement of my abilities. You pull it back, but you have to press down before you do that. So you start the air before the paint flows, so you don't build up paint that then splatters, and then you pull it back. But it also, this is the full, the way this is designed, this is the full amount of the path of the trigger. But you have these different, it's stepped levels that you can use, and I was using the prime, it was great. And then I'm not really, there's a pretty great video, a couple videos where they assembled some stuff, this is on Harder and Steenbeck, where they assembled some videos of Warwick painting some stuff and giving you the direction of like what these numbers are for. And it's pretty valid. But I was using it and fine, and then it started to clog up, which, that could be the nozzle, the needle, could be the nozzle. But it shouldn't really be a problem. I feel I'm not thinning. So the primer that I use is Badger's Stynylrez, and they don't have a thinner. And you'd think it's pretty thin, but I think it needs to be a little bit more thinned. I did Huntress today with a more thinned white, and I was able to do her face. Number one, it dries quicker. And I did this a couple hours ago now. It's somewhat, kind of want to wait longer to make sure things are cured, but this should be fine. But I was able to do multiple coats relatively quickly, right? If you have it where it's thinner, it should do that. Also, I showed the other day, now I didn't do that great of a job of patching it, but there was like an injection point here, and I used the Milliput and fixed that, which was great. You know, it dries really hard and in a relatively quick time. I also patched, let's see here. I'm gonna try to do that more often. I kind of wish I had gotten into that earlier. Let's see here. Goodness gracious. I also patched his joint, the joint on his arm. These are not, I did both this and this, so it's not as, because it was basically, I'm sorry, not focus, basically kind of a giant hole here right at his shoulder, and it's been something, hey look, there's splatter. It's something that has been bothering me about these minis, and I'm not sure if it's just, these are the latest, oh no, those are not the latest. These are the latest. These are pretty good, but I just felt like the Marvel United, you can see I did not do a great job on the mold line there. It's so weird. I feel like I get it all. Let me just see if I can clean it up. It's right on her head. But I don't, again, we don't know what's going on with CMON and their software, the projects being completed. I hope it happens. So you know what? This is a bad, I dropped this yesterday, a bad blade. So let's swap it out. There are better, this is a super fine amount of trying to clean the mold lines. This is an ancient box of, I don't even remember. This is so, it's 100 blades, last forever, and I have more. Like, I bought 2 other boxes, like, I'm gonna need those, and they're newer than these, but I think those are 20 something years ago. I don't remember. But yeah, it's crazy. You shouldn't buy too much. 100 blades makes sense. I do a lot, but I also have I bought these that hold like 10 blades. There's still one more. This is stainless steel, I believe. No, this isn't the stainless steel. I colored that. I have like a stainless steel one. I don't think this is it. And stainless steel is cool and everything, but ultimately I don't think it's necessary. Her hair is black, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem to do this. I will probably re-prime it a tiny bit by, with my the brush. But I'm kind of getting close. This is number 5 of the 8 that you get in the Hush. I would like to do this as an episode at some point here. I don't know what is going on with her. It's supposed to be thinner than that. I don't know what, they changed the models of these, since, because they're 3D printed when they're in the campaign and they're painting them. So, the thing changes as you're doing it, as far as dimensionality and fineness of the sculpt. It's not really important, but so let me get a little bit of paint. I actually meant to get the paint down on the palette. I have been doing, like I said last week, I am now just taking the wet palette and cleaning it out, drying it out, and then redoing it every time I do it. It's been great. I've been using the same sheet of paper now for at least a few sessions. But yeah, I have all those Monument Pro Aquils that I have, another 27 plus 24, so 55. 27 plus 24, so 61. No, it is 27, 3 packs plus 24. Boy, my brain. 51? There we go, maybe. Hold on. Let me think a second. I'm usually better at this. Yeah, 51. 51 paints that I need to get together and put someplace. So I think I counted the other day, I have a good amount of Pro Acryl already. And some of them are repeats. So it was nice of them to send that along. I'll talk about that more when I start painting some of that stuff. I'd like to get to that soon. That's one reason why I would like to get done with these. I won't put those in the racks. But I do need to remember that I have them. That's one of the things about, like, I found some other stuff cleaning up. No, nothing major, but there was some stuff that I was like, oh, there's that stuff that I needed a long time ago. The one thing about these bottles is the dry paint. Like, I still use these paints to airbrush as well. And I don't like the dry paint. This is the eyedropper style top that they have. I'm almost tempted to try, I don't really want to buy more. The standard ones that come are the twist top dropper bottles. They're fine. They're not great. I was reading something about somebody breaking one, like over tightening it, which I'm like, wow, I don't know that I would do that. But I did break the, now I think it was because it was going the wrong direction. I think to loosen it, it is clockwise, and to tighten it is counterclockwise. But yeah, I broke this last week, and thankfully fixed it. I did not go and look at the eBay I can't remember who found it. But I'm excited to, hey, Skipper Kiefer. Just played last night, I have a few. That was a sludge. The Deadpool Marvel United. I have not played it yet. No, that's not true. I think we have played it a long time ago, because that was in, I guess that was in the second campaign. I think I was gonna only get that when I bought it, and I really do not want this dry paint getting there. So that is absolutely something that could have happened to my airbrush yesterday. Like, the tiniest amount will really clog your nozzle, and it is absolutely possible that was the case. I don't know. You know, I do have one of these that I could use to maybe clean this out. The dumb thing is it always does this. Like, the lid does not really seal the tip of the bottle. So this is sitting upright. These are not even lying down or anything, and it was a problem, right? It's really a drag. But this is not them, you know, I mean, all of these have problems, all of them. I actually think Monument Hobbies probably has the best options. Like, they're like, here, you know, pick your poison, right? You can do the standard twist, you can do the eyedropper, or you can do the flip top. The flip top is, you know, the standard kind of bottle, like this one here on the alcohol bottle, you know, where it has a post that goes in. These do a pretty good job, right? They're not going to have, they're probably the best for having the dry, as long as you wipe this area here. Let me see if we can focus that. If you wipe this clean, you won't have that much of a problem. But you know, I'm not going to strain the paints. This is the problem. I don't want to strain paints to make sure I have like a clean paint going into the airbrush, and it's really a drag. And I noticed when I was cleaning it up yesterday, little bits of paint that were coming up as I was, so I got to the end of cleaning it. I was putting water into the cup to spray it through, and little flakes of paint were coming up. And I'm like, now I would imagine it was from the cup. I don't know. I will tell you though, so this is the one thing about these airbrushes that I particularly like. I don't know that they did this on the I think this is a new thing they're doing. But they curve this top in, and I will tell you, it does a very good job of keeping the paint from, because I do a lot of, moving my airbrush around, and when it's fuller, I never fill it full, it can splash on the, not necessarily on the model, but on things. And this one here, which is very nice, has a much better cut because it is super polished. And I think the higher end versions of the harder Steenbeck ones also have polished cups now. But it means you can just easily clean it out between projects, between color changes and projects. But anyway, the thing is you kind of need these things on top of it to prevent the splashing. And I don't love it because it just makes a mess. And more places for like dried paint to, if you're doing a lot of spraying at once, for dried paint to build up, which I just do not like. So it is absolutely possible that was my issue yesterday, and a real bummer because, Superman is a mess. I got to do it again. Anyway, so let's see if we can touch up her hair a little bit here. I do not have the dropper of, I have like dropper bottles of everything. But yeah, I've used the thinner. This is not that water. That's cleaner. Finding every bottle but what I need, distilled water. I don't know. I found this bottle yesterday, and I'm like, what? This is water. I'm pretty sure. You look at the things as you shake them, right? This is a cleaner, so it's got soap. This is water, but I don't know what it is. And I'm mostly using distilled water on the palette. Does a pretty good job. I can leave these here. Airbrush cleaner can go back. I really want to kind of make I will probably design something for this thing to store like those bottles immediately on hand and not in the spray booth, because that is a problem. It gets crowded with all the darn things I'm holding there. And if I was doing, like I was doing 20 miniatures and I was moving things to the side so you wouldn't get paint on them, which didn't work because it shot so far away. But it's okay, right? It's not that big of a deal. It was light. I just was I didn't even notice it till today. That was the real bummer. Because if I'd seen it last night, I probably would have repainted it. I don't use distilled water on the wet palette though. So, I mean, I don't know. I never used distilled water ever before, maybe a few years back. And I don't know that it's necessary, but it is nice to, there's mineral deposits on a lot of stuff. Now, I have a rinse well system from, what is the brand? McMasterson. And the water this is to clean brushes. I don't use it as a water source, although I am moistening my brush in there before I get started. I have one of the another 3D printed thing on here, but I had the Citadel paint pots. These are great. I mean, you could see mineral deposits in there, right? I have used this. Sure doesn't look like it, but I'm mostly using this for a water source and to maybe clean the brushes a bit. But yeah, I mean, that's a bummer. Like the mineral deposits kind of concern me. Lots of little things you can worry about. And then you have my friend Sebastian, who is like the greatest, and he doesn't care, and he's sloppy, but his work is phenomenal, right? And he's been doing it for a long time. And I'm jealous of that. I wish I had the ability to just let that go. So Huntress actually has more skin visible, at least in the original model. So I'm going to paint her face actually I should do her eyes. I'm going to do the gray on her that I touched up just a tiny bit. Wow, it's pretty bold though. Now the paint will darken as it dries. But it might not dry dark. Well, here's the deal. if it shows up underneath the black that I'm probably going to paint her hair, then it'll show as a highlight. So I'm not going to worry about too much matching it. I can do a pretty good job. I've been doing painting, mixing and stuff for so long that I can be pretty quick at getting a match. I'm okay at color. I'm definitely better with black and white. I think black and white is, of course, probably easier. But I can match colors too. Okay. You just play his entire master plan deck out. He'd be fun with a group probably, but solo was a bit rough. Ah, hey Board Games James. Gotta ask, are you positive about the possibility of getting, I mean, Skipper Kiefer, I have $520 in that at least. I'm not sure that we've paid for shipping yet. I don't even remember. They generally charge for that stuff early, which is ridiculous, especially with the way things are going here. I bought this Batman Hush DC Heroes United from Amazon. I just wanted to have some DC characters. DC is sort of I'm not really a comic book person, but I enjoy the Marvel and DC movies and stuff. But I read DC comics, and so not a ton. As I've mentioned many times before, I was an anthology guy, so I would basically wait and then just read them all because I want to see the whole story. I don't want to wait, month to month or anything like that. But I sure hope it comes. I've heard some things being in the industry that they basically have to do it. I will believe it when I see it because I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I really do hope that they can make it happen because I would really, now I don't really need more miniatures. So in that regard, I might be being saved, because it's got to be another couple hundred miniatures in that campaign. I don't really remember. It was definitely a lot. Man, every character's eyes are blue. Hey, go for it, painting. But I'm hoping. I really do hope they pull it together. I like their stuff. I mean, these are fun. I mentioned it many times. I want a Star Wars one of these. I really want a Star Wars one. If they don't survive, maybe somebody else will pick it up, or maybe they'll sell the IP. But yeah, I would love Star Wars. And with Spin Master as their partner, it's possible. They have, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure most of the ones that have like Marvel or DC IP, it's through Spin Master. Spin Master has a relationship. Boy, this bottle is just the worst. I cleaned the thing out, and every time I look at it, it is lifting up on this side. I don't get it. Hey, I'm going to be using this paint, so let's mix it up. I do have a flow. I don't always follow it. Sometimes I get excited about some other part of the miniature, but usually I go eyes face outward, right? Anything that's deep, I want to get in there and get it out of the way. So once I do that, then I can do the mask. Usually the mask is darker, but I can also just, do some touching up and then putting the color. Now, again, I'm using a lot of, I don't use exclusively contrast paints and speed paints, but I use a lot of them. And it's funny. So, I bought like the first wave of contrast paints myself, and I didn't buy them all. I was actually listening to people's reviews and things like that, and they were saying these colors are terrible and stuff like that. So I didn't buy like Ultramarines blue. But here's the funny thing. I want it now. But I also don't need it. But I also have a lot of the second wave of, the second 2.0 speed paints from Army Painter. I like those too. They have a different thing with them that is a little annoying, but not terrible. They tend to dry out like on the brush. So it like leaves little flakes of paint. Again, if you're working on it and you're rinsing your brush often, it's not a big deal. And then I've used, I thought I had some of them, but I cannot find it. I've used a little of the Vallejo man, I don't remember what they call their speed paints. And they're good. You know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there now. I was mentioning last week that Stolly, Tale of Paint, or Tale of Painters, is a pretty great reviewer of paints. So yeah, I'll do the mask here because honestly, I don't want to do this after doing the mask. I often will do a little bit of highlighting and stuff, and it would just be terrible to do it after the eyes. And you can see, right, it's recessed, so it's easier to get in there and do a little bit of that, then do the eyelash, then do the skin on each of these. I got to do the iris, or the pupil. Where's my brain here? Anyway, pupils are dilated, so I don't know. And, you know, does she have teeth visible? She does not. Shopping is its own hobby, 100%. I need to stop. I mean, I have not shown you guys. I watch a lot of YouTubers. There's some great stuff out there, but Rogue Hobbies did a Gundam, and Gundam is not my thing at all. I mean, I loved a movie from, I mean, it was not a great film. A friend of mine worked on it when I was, like, when we were, he's older than me, so it was when he was out of high school, he went and worked for maybe even a few years, I don't remember. So it was probably early 90s, maybe mid 90s. Oh wait, I can look it up. It's a movie. But I saw it, I almost feel like it was like 89 or something like that. That seems, but that was, you know, let me look it up. But he worked on models. He's amazing. You know, like just practical little models, just ridiculous stuff. Really, really good. And I went to the little studio. It says 1989, so I probably went there in 89. You know, so it was basically kind of like there's a trailer here going on. But it was awesome, right? I mean, you know, he was working on special effects. It was really killer. I do not remember the movie at all, though. I do remember enjoying it. But my friend's name was Ron. Stuart Gordon was the director. I mean, Stuart Gordon, come on, man. That guy did, you know, Reanimator and stuff like that. So, did he also work? I think he wrote. Let me look it up here. Ah, he passed away 5 years ago. Yep, Reanimator. But yeah. Yep, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But he did not direct it. So I don't know what happened on that project. But he was interesting. You know, Robo Wars, I think, was another one that was, you know, they kind of seemed to like reuse the effects and stuff like that. But it was cool. And, you know, so I was excited about Pacific Rim, and it was okay. But how often do I paint, Jonas? I try to paint as often as I can. So lately, I've been painting minimum 2 times a week because I will, well, that's not true. Minimum once a week, we'll average it out, but I will try to get some other time in. I love to paint. I wish I had more time. I was born, is that what I was saying? Anyway, yeah, I was, I don't know what I was talking about there, but I was talking about seeing Ron's work. I don't remember exactly what he did on that project. He was great. He moved away. I think he lives in Florida now. And he still does like little projects. I don't know if he went there, you know, because there used to, I mean, there's studio stuff out there too, but Disney actually used to produce stuff out there. So I don't know if he went and worked at that. He might have. But man, he was super talented. Just loved it. Okay, so need some white paint. Oh, you were born in 1989? I was not born in 1989. And it was cool, man. I go by that place all the time. there is where the studio was. But that was not this. He didn't work for Stuart Gordon. He worked for, gosh, that guy's a famous name too. Let's find it out here. He worked for, oh, I cannot remember the name. Pretty sure Ron is in the credits here too. Special effects by, not these guys. Maybe it's not special effects, it's probably modeling. I'm getting pretty far down. It's probably another category. Visual effects by David Allen. That's who he worked for. David Allen was a stop motion animator. He passed away in 1999. Good gosh. He was only 54. He worked on a ton of stuff. He worked on Willow. But yeah, really amazing. So I never had anybody, other friends that worked on that. I have lots of friends that worked on you know, makeup style effects and sculpting. Our friend Norman is a really great sculptor that actually came out, I think because he was from Florida, came out here because of Rick Baker. And I think he worked for him. And he has done some amazing stuff. He works for Guillermo del Toro. Really cool. And the funny thing is so we met the owner of Trick or Treat Studios. They do masks, and they do stuff, Halloween, like super great Halloween style. Not necessarily Halloween masks, but they do like, the Friday the 13th or maybe I'm thinking Halloween and and they're also a games company now. They do, a lot of horror-themed style games mostly. They're great. Anyway, he knows our friend. Maybe because of Rob Zombie. They both worked on stuff for Rob Zombie. I mean, Chris, the owner of Trick or Treat, actually did a game with Rob Zombie. I think Rob Zombie was involved. That was what he was telling me was happening. When the House of a Thousand Corpses. Yeah, she's got blue eyes too. It's funny. It does seem like her. I'll do it like theirs. She's looking to the side. Give him the side eye. You worked in that building when they left out. Okay, I don't think he was in I remember that they had the animation at the Hollywood Studios. I don't know if they have any studio stuff there, but I'm pretty sure there's production stuff out in Florida. But yeah, Nikki's never been. We're contemplating going to Disney World in December, which is terrible timing as far as holidays and things like that. But there's a reason that we're going to probably do it. We'll see. Holidays is not a great time to go to the parks. We'll go during the week or something. Maybe it'll be a little bit less crazy. Plus, it's in the ramp up to Christmas, so. But I've been to Florida a few times. Nikki actually went to Florida. So we did a BGG cruise. So what I'm going to probably do here is I'll probably do her eyes. I'm going to do the skin, then I will do her eyebrows, even though yuck, but I think that's my best bet. They do such a great job. They do the eyeliner. I'm just not that great. We'll try. Actually, I should get some black out here. I double stream? Are you saying on both? So maybe what I do is when I'm painting streams, so what happens is it is basically once a week now I think about it. So we stream board games every other Thursday, and every other Tuesday, and I do the paint streams every other Thursday and every other Tuesday. So this last week we did a stream on Tuesday, a board game stream. Then I did a paint stream on Thursday, and then I'll do this stream today, painting stream. Then Thursday we'll play some game, and it'll probably be a Halloween theme-ish game, you know, that time of the year. So yeah, we do that, and it gets busy. If you go the first 2 weeks, it's a great time. It gets busy the third week. Yeah, we won't be there Christmas time. We'll probably be there around the 11th. So that's what we're thinking. We actually went this year. So we did I wanted to go see the Rise of the Resistance, which is the ride at Disneyland and Disney World. We went, the last time we had gone to Disneyland was December, I think. Yeah, December of 2019, which, you know, that ride was not open yet. The Galaxy's Edge was open, but it wasn't open. So I knew the ride opened. I knew there were some issues. And then I saw an article in February or January about them fixing a part of the ride that had been out for 5 years. And I'm like, I want to go see this ride now before, because I didn't see any videos on it. I didn't want to spoil it. So 5 years of not looking. And so we went and bought, they have SoCal passes. I mean, it's very expensive to go to Disneyland now. So what we did is we went, bought the 3 passes. We thought we'd do Disney's California Adventure, which is okay. The Cars Land stuff is really great, but it's not a great value in Southern California anyway. So, I mean, they don't have California Adventure anywhere else, but it's not great. You know, we're not going to do that again. But we did do the park twice, and that was fun. And we got to ride the Rise of Resistance many times after all these people frightened me that it was going to be hard to do. And, oh, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? It is so phenomenal. That whole part of the park. I mean, we've only done the Harry Potter here at Universal. We actually did, I think, the same year we did Disneyland the last time. We had a friend that she loves going to parks, and so we did go to both of those with her. And the Harry Potter was amazing too. It's just like, how incredible do they do of a job? And it's only just getting better and better. And that whole Disneyland thing for Galaxy's Edge is really phenomenal. And you know, I would love to go do all that. I mean, we won't be able to do like the full-on week, like you probably should do. And we were talking, so, you know, I had thought. Probably a couple. Normally at Disneyland, we just do it for a day. Disney World, when I used to go, it was 3 days or something like that. We'll probably do something similar, even though it's not enough. There's many parks. We may just splurge and get the park hopper for each day and then hit the other parks, or maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know how. Haven't even thought about it. It's probably a mistake, because we only had this opportunity come up last week, so we're thinking about it. But yeah, it's so amazing. We took our friend Christoph. So we actually went to Disneyland 4 times. Well, no, we didn't. We did California Adventure 1 time. We did Disneyland 3 times this year. And we took Christoph, who's been on the show with us a few times lately. He had never been, and he wanted to go. And we're like, he wanted to go to Universal Studios, and I don't know if he went, but we're like, Universal Studios is okay, but Disneyland's the amazing one. So we kicked his butt and walked the heck out of that park. But he said afterwards, he's like, you guys were correct. We did the right stuff. And it was my first, so I fractured my heel last year. And when I went in February, the first time we went for Valentine's Day, but not on Valentine's Day. That was me doing a tremendous amount of walking, and I felt, you know, more confident. You know, I didn't have any kind of. I was long. Hey, Dutch Yoda, long past needing the boot and all that stuff, but it was great. I feel like I'm getting it up on her forehead. I guess it's the eyebrow there, though. So eyelash or whatever, eyebrow. It should be okay. Hey, Dutch Yoda, we will not be at Spiel this year. I would love to meet maybe next year. We will probably go next year, I imagine. Unfortunately. But yeah, it's crazy how great that park is. All of them. I mean, you know, they we had a great time with Christoph. We both did the build your lightsaber thing. It was pretty funny. I was trying to get Nikki to do it. She would not do it. But I will tell you, they were not good. You know, we didn't, again, I don't like to spoil those kinds of things, so I had no idea. Like what you're supposed to do, what was going on. And so the guy's telling you, you know, we're waiting and waiting, and they're like, oh, you didn't order what, you didn't pick what you're doing? I'm like, what? And so we rushed over to this thing before they had us going. It turns out we were the last group of the evening, which we didn't know. They're like, you can buy these parts later. And then we're like, it was closed. But I also wanted to do it at the end of the day because I did not want to carry that stuff around all day. But it was fun. Boy, I keep doing this. This is scary. I shouldn't. Close that up. But we're talking about buying the annual pass again this year. We had a really good time. We're not usually, we usually kind of go with others. And it was our only time that I think maybe ever that we did it ourselves. It's okay. Thanks for Go For It Painting. Have a great paint job. How many days? Yeah, 3 days. Probably. Well, Disney World. We shall see. We still may not go. I know my mom's kind of probably annoyed about it. And it's a bad time for us. Like, we have a lot to do at that time frame. But if anything, we'll just do the event that we're supposed to be going to and then skip it. But if we're going out there, we might as well do it because it's not that far away. 4 hours, 3 hours away. I might have to make her pupils. Hey, Amanda. Please ask Nikki. I'm sorry I didn't respond. I saw that just before I was going live. I'm sure she'll be fine with it, but... Amanda's going to Essen for her first time this year, which is exciting. I wish we were going to hang out with her a bit there. But I'm happy we're not traveling. I hope everybody has safe travels. I don't know what's going on with the in the US, we have the shutdown going on, so air traffic control is a little scary. Yeah, it needs more blue. Her eye was too into her lashes there. So let me get that. I wish we were going. I would love to come meet you guys. We're usually pretty darn busy at that show. I mean, you know, we used to run a booth. I mean, we still have a booth now. But we don't, Nikki helped out more than I did. Well, last year I was hurt. I had gone just weeks after hurting myself. So I was in a boot and, you know, I had a little knee scooter and everything, you know, it was ridiculous. I should not have gone. But next time. So I will say, I need to let that dry, but I almost feel like the sable brush is the thing to do on this. I watched recently the through their problems. It's such a great game. It's coming. So we have this next week. We have Travis's latest game. He worked on that game 2 years ago with Martin Wallace, and we have an episode coming up of his new game that's kickstarting next week. It was supposed to kickstart this week, today, but I guess there's a strike at Kickstarter, or maybe there was, I don't know. So we are delaying it till next week. It's not fun to do. We don't generally do that kind of stuff, but because we don't like to do Kickstarters, because, for example, Dark Providence is still not available. Which is a bummer. They are supposedly, it is on its way, I believe. It's another CMON title that's kind of held up. So let's hope. We're supposed to get a copy of it. I talked to the CMON guy that we know. Now that everybody's been laid off, he said he'll be able to get us a copy, but that was all we asked for. Like, could you give us a copy of this? Because we loved it. We played it with Deborah. She kicked our butts. But it was great. I do wish these paints were a little easier to reach. Nice. Oh, yeah. Hey, Daryl. Yeah, we have stuff that was supposedly sent to us a while ago, and we have still not gotten it, that we are doing videos for, that are paid videos. Now they're like, told us, it's basically Asmodee, that we'll get it and it'll be fine. But it's a bummer. Like, the whole delays thing, it's just, I don't know what's going on. And he's like, well, you can pick it up at Essen. I'm like, we won't be there. I would love to, but we won't be there. But I'm happy. Yes, we'll probably do the travel in December. That'll be fine. And we're going to BG Con Fall here in a few weeks' time. I think we're going to be there 9 days total. So I need to put down. Boy, I'm really almost out of this. Not out of it yet. Sorry, I gotta get my head in the shot. Really don't need a lot of flesh tone here. Her skin seems a little dark in the picture that I'm using as reference. May not be thin enough. Might be too thin. Hey, the green laser. Okay, flesh tone. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to paint it up on along her hairline first. It's darker undercoating here, so. So what I do on this stuff is I tend to work my way up to the skin color I want on these. I mentioned many times that this Gilman flesh is basically the only human flesh. That might not be 100% true in the contrast paint line. And I was disappointed with it when I first got it. And then when I started to use it, and well, I went back to the store to see what other ones they had, and this was first wave, I'm pretty sure. Humanoid flesh. When I went there, I looked at their display, and they showed it, you know, which I should have known. They showed it with the contrast medium. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm a boob. You thin it with the contrast medium and it gives you, it's not thinning it, reduce the intensity. And it will, it gives you a wide range of flesh tones. Really, really nice for what it is. Could be better. But I think I have no problems. I've done, you know, like I love Sherry and, boy, what was her name? Danny Guerra's character in Black Panther. Anyway, they were great. Like, they look so good. And that's just this color less, the intensity higher, you know, more directly out of the pot. Really great. Ugh. That looks pretty good. Eye is not great, but I'm not gonna beat myself up over it, or I'll make a mess, so. Killer. Okay. The ending of Cthulhu Dark Province was quite a surprise. It was great. the ending of the next episode that we do with Travis is a surprise as well. No spoilers. It does not end well for me, though, which is fine. Okay, something for her lips. She does not look the same as she does. I mean, you know, this is a 3D printed model, and I don't know what they do to prep them. I like it. You said hi to me in 2018. Wow, okay. Well, Nikki probably in 2018 was working. She was working for Surfer and Meeple Madigo at that point in time. Is that correct? 2017, yes. I'm trying to remember if that's... I don't remember exactly when she left working for them. They moved back to... So the folks that were running the company were out here in Northern California. And they went... Is this the color? It might not be. Seems a little dark. Yeah, it's kind of dark. And so she was working those booths, and you know, I was working the booths too, but our booth. But we were also. It's funny because I think I was going to do the big marketing push for what we do in 2020, and that didn't happen. But I think we had meetings at both Gen Con and Spiel, and I think it would have been Gamma Trade Show, which was 2020. I did do that event before. That was literally the weekend before lockdown. Ugh. Okay. That looks good. Wow, looks really nice. I should have been painting these things with this tiny brush. And this isn't even small. I did not print these. These are from Marvel, DC Heroes United, Batman Hush, which is the box for the DC Heroes United stuff that they did. So this was one that they said during the campaign that they would be doing, so that we would it would be a separate purchase, and so they did release it. So it is a good sign. It's a little frustrating, but that maybe we'll get the stuff from the campaign. I'm hoping. Wow, not good there. Too dark. Although maybe not. almost wish they didn't do so much with the eyes. I can never get them, like the dimensionality of it kind of works against me when I'm doing this stuff. Now that's just me probably, but okay, so there you go. That's pretty much all I need to do on the face. I'll probably do a little bit of highlight on her lip. Let's see here. Actually, I need to do a little dot on her eyes like I normally do anyway. This is where I'll mess it up. And make sure I have the right amount of paint. So it's just like a little bit of bright spot on her eye. Helps. I don't do the dark, you know, the iris, I guess. It's pupil. It's the pupil. I don't normally do that. Hey, Cirque, how you doing? I got it right. Almost said it the other way. Wow. So I have an Apple, and it tends to, when I say your name in that way, it responds to me. And it said it's doing fine. That looks cool. It's not, the eyes are not great, but the mouth looks nice. The eyes are pretty good. Probably some of the better ones that I've done, so I should not be hard on myself. The paint, I want to do a little bit of a wash. Oh wait, I have it already on the palette. Goes over here. Okay, there we go. Let me do a little bit more. I like that there are no teeth in her mouth. I had so much trouble. I mean, she looks good now, but I'm really, Huntress's mouth is really awesome. It's probably the nicest job I've done on one of these. I think I did, I don't think I actually went that far with the paint, but it's, maybe I did. I think it's just the brown. Cool. I did paint, last week I showed you that I had painted the varnish on the, they were much better. So, you know, they were sticky, and that was probably more closer to the satin than a matte. Now, it's too matte. I have to figure that out, but it's not sticky anymore. It does feel weird. I don't know. It could be just the, it's leaning towards ultra matte here. But these wings are nothing like they were. And I also got any kind of the shininess that I had over missed, you know, while painting, because it goes on shiny, glossy. And it's weird. So the gloss is a different brand, and it's perfectly fine. So I honestly feel it has to do with the paint, and maybe to do with the other one, the displacer piece was another one I had some. I'm doing well. But I got all the shiny parts taken care of. So, and I think that looks good. It's actually the right amount of sheen, I think. It looks like a little spot there that I didn't get. Oh no, no, it is a little spot I didn't get. Goodness gracious, I'll keep seeing that forever. Okay, let's do her mask. Let me see if there's highlights going on. Maybe I'll do a little bit of that. Hmm. Yikes. So I'm going to try to build up the purple a little bit as well. So these under highlights will help define it. It won't be perfect because I'll have to come back in afterwards. But I like doing it. Oof, you can see I didn't get some flesh tone underneath this mask here. So one thing that happens with these paints as they sit, I'm not sure about the if the speed paints do the same thing, but the contrast paints tend to gel when they're drying. So it's one of the things you don't want to touch the paint once it's on the miniature. Don't work it. It will mess it up. You got a very short time. I've done this under the hair as well. I don't do it with black because black doesn't, the black hair doesn't quite work the same. But I did it on Black Widow. Another clump of her hair that I didn't catch the mold line there. Okay. Let that dry a little bit. I do paint some Warhammer. I'll show you a little bit of that. I did. I love painting Warhammer Underworlds. So this is Crimson Court minis that I painted last year about this time. I had asked my friend Sebastian to pick them up. They were hard to get. They're actually not so hard to get now. You can get them in the one of the warbands boxes with 4 different warbands. These are phenomenal minis. But I love painting them. You know, they're just cool. I mean, this was all, so this was the red from, I don't know which one it is, darn it. I think it's blood red speed paint. I actually got a bottle of it. Kind of pestered the guy because they weren't selling it. They had a display and they were marketing to other retailers, which is just very weird. So anyway, I really love that color, those colors. It was nice. It was, I had been wanting to try it. Now they have some great reds, other great reds on. They had 2 originally, and now they got a pretty decent range of reds. And I love painting 40K as well. Hey, Time Roller. This is, I painted this 13 years ago, so it's, you know, it's trying to be heavy metal style. But it's cool, turned out neat, love it. And then I've done some Stormcast Eternals for Warhammer Underworlds. They're cool, all of it's great. I love Warhammer Underworlds and their bases where they have these just fantastic things going on. Like this guy here, there's a giant statue head that he is standing on that's just amazing. All very cool. But yeah, I've got lots of, I mean, I have way more minis of Warhammer and Warhammer Age of Sigmar and Standard Fantasy. I mean, I have sets and sets that go back decades now. Thanks very much, Jonas. But I love doing them. They're really fun. You know, there's some white that I want to do on this as well. What is it doing there? So I can paint it afterwards. So there's like a gray stripe going down her, the center of her chest here, and then the cape has gray. So I will paint the black, and it's going to be a challenge. I think I'm going to paint them. I'm not sure. Her hair is black. Black, a couple of black things there. So I will probably do the black before I do the, because it's underneath the armor here, although that's usually not that big of a deal. They did change her armor a bit too. Her gauntlets or whatever going on here. But I do want to paint the purple of her mask, so let's see how that goes. We're going to do it again, thinned out, or not thinned, the intensity reduced by using I need a brush that I can use to transfer paint. It's best to use the back end of your brush, in my opinion, on something like this. I just put a little bit in. It's been doing it forever. Because essentially it's drops. Now I'm going to need a lot more purple, so maybe I'll mix it up here. I said I was going to paint underneath. It looks like I won't be if I'm doing this. There's a lot of purple on her, which is awesome. It won't be completely visible. Like this knee probably should have had a little bit more highlight on it. So you can see I underpainted a highlight on her lip, and then I put a thinner glaze of the red on top of it. I don't know if it's super visible on the camera, but it's pretty amazing looking here. It's like I did for the one here. Now I didn't put a glaze on it. I had it shiny, but with those problems, I'll probably put just a literal gloss varnish on the lips here on the. Good God. Okay. Yeah, it is very good. It's a cool color. So I put that in, probably not enough contrast medium. Let me do a little bit more. I plan to build up again, which is a good way to go. Just keep adding. Now I ended up starting with her skin a little bit darker than I intended, probably. Not necessarily the end result, but I ended up getting the end result. I'm happy with it because that's kind of what I was. Her the illustration or the photos of the miniature look like that. It's pretty great. They also did the roof with like a teal, which the tiles. It's so cool. I'm definitely going to try to do that. Also, I need to do that. So there's brick here, and I did not airbrush it light. So I will get this, and I will glaze a little bit of light, you know, a couple coats on the brick, so it's just builds up the brightness of the white. It's not even really a glaze, it's kind of thick, going on thick, but that's okay. That's thin. That first batch was a little thicker. So the thing is I will have the grout will be dark, and that's what I want. And I'll put the brick red, whatever color that is, over it. The wet palette seems to be drying pretty quickly, so let me put some water in there before I keep going here. Okay. So what I do is I use these. I do not know what they're really called. I believe they're not tattoo bottles, but you put it in and you can add water to the palette without making a mess. Because I don't want it on the paper. But I do want it to, it does get to where the, you know, the moisture comes up through the paper. And you definitely want it to do that. But the paint is drying a little quickly, so I know that the sponge is getting a little dry. Not a lot, but a little. But yeah, I want this to dry pretty solidly before I paint the red on it. Hey, thanks for the follow, Sir Bearsworth. That means he's gonna get dizzy with all the plastic running to his head. Oh. Thanks so much for the follow. But yeah, I'm working on Huntress, which is from the DC DC Heroes United. Is it? Yeah, it's DC Heroes, right? Superheroes. I keep saying that wrong. It is DC Superheroes United. When I was trying to say it before saying it in my head, I'm like, it is DC Heroes. No, it is not. Did I put that in the chat? Nope, I put Heroes United. Boy, oh boy. But you know what? I only have so many. I'll give myself a break. I only have so many character spaces. Although not in the chat. Okay, and then the tile. So the Hush set is not part of the. They announced it during the campaign, but it was announced that they would be releasing it ahead of the. And I mean, it's who knows when we'll get the main stuff if we do, but they would be releasing it ahead of the main box stuff, and it's a separate retail only 8 figures, so it has Batman and the Joker and Hush and Harley Quinn and Huntress, and then I also have over behind me I have Superman, Controlled, Catwoman, and Robin. What did they say? The Robin is the Tim Drake Robin. It's the Goggles Catwoman, and then Batman Classic. So they're cool. I really like the chibi. So here's the thing, and this is why I keep painting them. It is super encouraging to people to paint these minis. They're large, which sometimes is intimidating, but the thing is like, I did a very nice job on the face, right? It's not the greatest face job ever, but it's pretty good. And I feel you get better at these things, like painting them. They're just phenomenal. And, you know, it's a $30 box, not cheap. But they have, like, I bought the main, very first wave box once with the Enter the Spider-Verse box on that. And it was $25 or something like that. And that's like 10 minis plus probably another 6 in the Enter the Spider-Verse one. It's just crazy. Really fun minis, not the best minis as far as molding. You know, the detail's a lot softer and stuff, you know, like compared to these tiny Games Workshop ones. You know, they both have their place. I love painting them both. So they're worth it. I think it's a fun set. And the game is really fun, which is really awesome. So I got the stuff in here. I do not have paint in there because I got distracted. The chibi stuff is fun though. You know what? I did not shake that. I opened it up and used it. And checked it. Absolutely. The game is good. I actually like the game. I've not played the DC Superheroes United yet. We will. Want to do it on the show. But, gosh dang it, this says 2021. Is that the second wave? Maybe they didn't release them until 2022. I don't remember now. Might have been it. They were nice enough to send me the second wave. They sent me that plus all of the shade, the redone shades. And it has been, they are my favorite paints of the contract, this style of paint. But I do enjoy. I have a lot of the, I was showing this one earlier. The speed paints, they're great. The 2.0. I've never used the 1.0. I didn't buy them. But they're all good. I will tell you this. So I've only ever replaced. Where am I at now? I replaced the very first one of this. I end up using it up, but I also spilled it. So this is a new bottle of it. I replaced the Basilicanum Gray, and I think that is it for colors that I have replaced. And that is not a lot. And so they're expensive. They're $8, almost $8 per bottle. But you get I mean, I'm not the fastest painter or anything like that, but I painted a lot of minis. And you tend to, with these comic book style characters, you reuse the colors a lot. It's pretty amazing how long the life is on them. I still have many of the colors that I bought. I mean, I have all the colors I bought when I first bought the wave in 2019, the first wave. I was kind of hopeful. I was thinking it was 2022, so it would have been 3 years. And then we're in 2025. I was kind of hoping they would have another wave of colors and some new stuff. The speed paint metallics are not, they do change with the different undercoatings. So, I mean, there is some transparency, but remember the pigment is metallic flakes, like aluminum or whatever. So they're going to be not quite the same reaction. But, you know, that's the same thing with some of the speed paints and the contrast paints. The second wave had, there might have been some in the first wave, but definitely the second wave had colors that were single pigment. So they really don't work like a contrast paint should, you know what I mean? Like it does the shading for you and everything. But it's not that big of a deal, right? You can, I mean, I love the ball red. It is it is another great red color. So the shade's not coming through too much. It's okay. It's there. But this is probably a little bit darker than I had intended it to be, the color. But I can go back with paints and basically glaze some highlights, which I do all the time. Is that on her skin? It is. What time is it? 12:15. Hey Scott, how you doing? It's going great. This is a really cool mini. This is Huntress. Really great. I don't know if you've seen some of the other ones I did. This is the Batman one. Here is the Joker. He's turned out pretty great. Oops, not varnished, so I'm dropping him and making a mess. Here's Hush. He's done pretty much. And then we have Harley Quinn. They're really killer. Super neat minis. Trying to destroy my brush here. I have the using it is the same shade of purple. That's what I'm using anyway. That color is Luxian purple. I really like it. I'm not doing it as intense as I did on the Joker, where I put a little bit more contrast medium into it. Her boots are purple too. What is her buckle? Oof, don't see it. Eeps. I think that's enough for her mask. I mean, the highlight actually does not look too bad. So, I mean, I went in and painted the white before putting the purple on, and I think it looks good. Any more will probably just kind of complicate its look. Darn it. So I'm using this sable brush a little bit more delicately than I normally do. Of course, I'm not painting like the same thing. Once I get to the cape, I will be painting a with this they call it golden Taklon brush, synthetic. She's got a lot of utilities on her belt here. I think her belt is black, but for some reason the little pouches are purple. Oh boy. It's crazy with the Windows. Today's the last, it is the last day. It's expired, so Windows 10 support is done, which is okay. You know, it's old. They went, I think, another 5 years beyond what they had planned on supporting it. Let's see here. But I had some issues with, like, Nikki's computer, which isn't that terribly old, but neither of us really need a new computer at this point in time. And that's the downer about the whole upgrade thing. I totally get it, but, you know, I guess you can convert them to Linux machines or something like that. I'm not sure about the security aspect of that stuff. The whole reason that they're that they're claiming have this whole security module. But I just don't like the idea of throwing out a lot of hardware. So you know, in our case, most of this stuff's pretty good. Jonas was commenting about the wear, you know, that they have on here that shows the exposed brick. It's great. They have tons of great little details on the terrain that is really great, really fun. There's one of the earlier ones I did. I think it was one of the first ones. Well, the Vision one is great because he's passing through a wall, which is really cool. But there was one, well, there's Spider-Man one where he's clinging to a wall that's pretty great. But there's a one where one of the characters is on a fallen traffic light. Just is really cool. I mean, it's not like it's super high detail or anything, but you know exactly what it is, and it was fun to paint. The folks at Big Child are really good. I don't even know. I mean, I've seen minis that they've done. They've done stuff that's completely different than this. I think they did the stuff for Hate, and they've done I don't know, a lot. They're Brazilian, and it's just their stuff is really nice. And they paint the minis too when they're doing the examples. So there's some great people on hand to paint the minis. So they're just really high-end stuff. I really hope that they are not done with CMON, because CMON's doing now I'm sure they're working. I mean, they must be. I hope they're working with them some. To finish this up, the problem is I've seen no painted minis from. That's not true, not none, but because I'm actually looking at a painted mini for reference here that they did for Hush, but like there was no painted mini for the Joker. And I'm not sure they have a book that they're doing, like how to paint, and I imagine it's being done by, that was for this campaign. Imagine it's being done by Big Child Creatives. I hope so. So I'm not sweating too much detail worry here as far as coming onto the lines of her bodysuit, because that is black, and the edges will be just fine when you come back to it. The one thing I didn't airbrush the chimney. I mean, I did, but I didn't highlight it enough. But it'll be fine. Again, I really want the focus to be on the character, not necessarily the terrain. So I have done plenty of these bases where it's just gray. And that's, I feel, all it needs a lot of the time. But when it's got a little bit more detail in it, I'll go a little further and do it. Now, I don't remember on Spider-Man Noir, is that out here? I don't think it is. I might have painted the whole thing black and white, but I almost feel like I should have done the terrain color. I mean, I've only ever seen, I didn't know that character. I've only ever seen the Spider-Man animated movies, which I really loved. But awesome. Very cool. I think I got all the pouches. These are in the dark, so they're not going to be as bold, and that's exactly what you want. So I did put wet contrast paints on the wet palette, which will be a problem. So the edging on this cape is gray. So I'm going to have to paint, I think I'm going to try to paint as carefully as I can to that edge and then just touch it up later. It is going to be a black. And I probably will go for it. Oh, they're Spanish, huh? Is that true, Alejandro? I hope that's not true. I thought they were Brazilian. I thought that they were having troubles with the paint. They had a Spanish partner for the paints. And I don't remember who it was. And they basically, what I read was that they took the paints from them. They took the line that they had developed, which is a tremendous problem. I sure hope they didn't. Well worth following the artist. I'm sure they'll stay active in me painting scenes somehow. Oh man, I hope they didn't close. I mean, I read some stuff about that, about the paint line, and I went and checked on their Facebook. And now maybe they're not updating their Facebook, but I sure hope they're not gone because they're great. They're really great. It's probably all part of this whole CMON stuff. It is just not cool. Boy, I thought they're, you know what? Maybe it's Guillotine that is Brazilian. The people that do, that may be why I'm confusing it. The people that do, they do Zombicide. There we go. Man, that is a bummer. I hope that's not true. I mean, you probably know better than me. Because I love their stuff. They did a Kickstarter for Hate. Not a Kickstarter. They did it on the miniature, site, what is it, My Mini Factory? And I was like, what is this? I was kind of shocked. See, I want to leave the gray so that, I mean, we'll probably go back in afterwards and do a little bit of highlighting. But I want to leave the gray the same color. Man, I hope that's not true. I really love their stuff. Well, if that's the case, that means we won't be getting the how to play or how to paint. It'll be some terrible, maybe they'll work with the folks, I don't know. I don't imagine CMON is doing anything in those regards. They're just trying to get the stuff out. So I'll do the upper side of the cape. Oh, you notice the underside. I didn't do any gray here. I'll have to paint that. It's not, I didn't airbrush it. One of the things I like to try to do before I paint is look at the paint job that they have done, and I did not on this one. And I regret it. Okay, so black. I guess I will use the Black Templar because it is a bluer black than the Black Legion. Both of them are great. I sure hope they didn't close it. I know that they had a problem with that their Atom paint line, and I'm trying to remember who it was. I feel like it was. Let me look it up. Oh, I don't have Facebook on this phone. Oh, it'd be terrible. Their stuff is so good. And you know, they do more detailed stuff, or they did, I don't know, bummer. More detailed stuff than this. But these are fun, and the sculptors are so good. So I'm probably near the end of this bottle of, getting close. I'm not going to mix a ton of this black, although I will probably do the hair as well. Let's see here. I want it to be a little bit lighter than the full intensity. But I think I'll do the hair darker. Looks really good. Pat myself on the back. Wow, I am about halfway through the bottle on this one. That's probably not quite right. Gets tapers to larger on the bottom. But this is, I use this paint a lot, and that tells you how long this can last. It's pretty great. I think I'll put a little bit more contrast medium in. Yeah, they had some kind of unfortunate disagreement with ammo. That's who it was. That's the one I had read about. So I must have missed whatever happened after the fact. It's terrible. I don't know about ammo. I have some of their stuff. Was it ammo or was it, I guess it was, which is terrible. If it was ammo by MiG, then that's even worse. Because there was AK Interactive has had some issues in the past few years, and ammo was people from, I believe, from AK Interactive went off and did their own thing, and it's not great if they're hurting another company that now is gone. You know, I don't know what the involvement was on that, but it was their branding, supposedly, Big Child Creatives. So it's really a downer. I need a heavier brush. So I'll go back with the detail afterwards because I need to get this to be smoother. Now I'm going to probably do 2 coats, so it may not be a big deal. But I'm getting bubbles, which is frustrating. Is that the brush? Or is it the paint? Is that a bubble or a clump of something? A piece of plastic. Ugh. Hair, I'm getting all kinds of stuff. There must be something in the palette. It's certainly possible. It's silicone and it doesn't, although it doesn't feel sticky like some of that stuff. Probably going to need another coat. It looks a little gray, which is what I was kind of going for. I'm not 100% satisfied with it, but oof. This brush is not good. Coming back soon message. Oh, okay. They do have a fantastic style. Thanks for telling me, Alejandro. I'm happy to hear. Not happy to hear about it, but I'm happy to understand what's going on. It's really a bummer. Their stuff is truly great. But I have been agonizing over it because that Kickstarter or my mini factory thing that they did, I was confused by it, and I'm like, what are they gonna? I mean, I really wanted them to succeed, whatever the heck was going on. they probably, because of letting go of all of the creatives at CMON, even though they were their own company, I'm sure they got caught up in all that, and that could have been the real breakdown. It's truly unfortunate. The music stopped. Which is funny, because it's a gigantic playlist. Hey, I touched it, as I have done many times. I am really unhappy with myself here, because I said it gels. I should be having it on a holder. I don't know what I'm doing today. But you gotta let this dry. So do not touch. Oh, and it was barely anything. I see the little dot that I had here. Not that it's critical. Wow. Did the PC shut down? No, it's there. Very weird. There's some music. Okay. Man, I'm bummed. I thought maybe that fundraiser, the crowdfunding campaign, I don't know. I'm not privy to those deals, but I feel like that maybe they were, gosh darn it, doing terribly here. Maybe that was a payment from CMON for work done, you know? Like, here's this campaign, if you guys want to run it. Or, you know, here's the property, and their solution was to just do a print it yourself campaign. But they've been selling lots of the IP off. Asmodee bought Zombicide, and I believe that was spearheaded by, I know it was spearheaded by one of CMON's former heads. Which is cool, but you know, I hope it gave him a lot of money. I don't know. At least that's still going to go. I do not know. I mean, maybe they couldn't sell Marvel United or the United line because of its partnership with Spin Master. Hey, thanks so much for the follow, FDuran27. I just built a new rig last night, just missing a GPU. Ah! Yeah, I was talking about the upgrading the PCs because we are worried about the Windows 11. My system's already upgraded. Nikki's is. We have one in here that we use to control our stream that I have to figure out what's going on. If I need to, I don't know if I'll build a full new PC, if I'll be able to. It is an older graphics card. They're like on, I mean, I think they're on the 5000 series now, so, and I believe it is a 980, if I remember correctly. Head's in the way. Turned out okay over here on the other side where I touched it, which is a bummer, but at least it's okay. Is that a hair on here again? Nope, doesn't look like it. Sure does look like it though. Well, I think that is it for today. Huntress is looking pretty cool though. I do wish I could come back and paint more today, but I do not think I'm going to have the time. Well, there you go. She's looking pretty good though. We'll do some highlighting on it. You got a great playlist song going on here. Is it? So it is a, what we're using is a service called Epidemic Sound. We use it for this stuff. We use it for our in focus and how to play videos. They're great. And I just picked this one out myself. This is for my painting stream, mellow stuff, you know. And I like it. It's not too bad. I mean, I'm sitting here humming the songs, so I've heard a lot of them for a bunch, so. But I like their stuff. I do wish, I'm thinking that we might want to take it offline, like download them and use them, because we have issues with it, like stuttering sometimes, which is a bummer. But I like it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Really appreciate all the chatter and the follows. I hope you all have a great day. We will be back on Thursday with a game night stream. So we'll play something probably Halloween related. We're going to try to do, what was the first one we did this month? Return to Dark Tower. I'd say that's kind of Halloween related. Hopefully you can join us. It'll be 5:30 Pacific Daylight Time, PM. And if not, maybe next time. This week it'll be game night on Thursday, game night next Tuesday at this time slot, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and then I'll be back to painting the following Thursday. You guys have a great one. Let's see if there's somebody I can raid. Hey, thanks so much, Jonas. Thanks for watching and everything. It's been fantastic. Let's see if we can raid somebody. I'm looking at... Oh, you know what? I did not do that. Whatever. Close enough. So I always leave that open and then I have a problem with it. So I'm leaving open the Stream Manager button. I'm leaving open the file, the project name. You know, you save what the stream is going to be. I mean, it's still Batman Hush, but at least I was saying I was painting Huntress. Let's see. So hopefully there'll be somebody we can raid. Might be Rado doing something today. I don't know. Yes, they are. So they're maybe already doing the recording part, but if they aren't, say hello. They got 50-some viewers. So join if you want to join in on Twitch, go ahead and click on through, and I will talk to you all later. And then YouTube folks, thanks again to you for joining as well. So we're starting the raid. So if you want to join in, it's only about 10 of us watching here. So if you click on through, there's a few people. Have a great one. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Thanks, YouTube folks. Really appreciate it. You guys have a great one as well. And have hopefully a nice, I mean, it's nice here. It's rained, so it's, you know, a different feeling for us because we don't usually get a lot of rain here. So it's been